and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the Monday painting video, which entails me painting the model up voted on by you guys from last week's Weekly Wednesday. For all my regulars here, guys, I feel love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so there's lots of voting from last week. There's actually 6 things that were voted on, one of them being the wild card. So I've got Demonettes, I've got the Gargant, I've got one of the Chaos boys was the vote that was put down, one of the Space Marine heroes, I think the same person voted on that, and Mr. Ra, and someone voted on the wild card. So Demonettes 1, Gargant 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is going to be the wild card. Because there's so many things voted on, I'll do a D6 roll off. 3. So one of the Chaos boys. So that's what's going to get painted today. I'm going to sort out wet palette and start sorting everything else out ready for him. And I'll come back to you then, guys. Right, so here we are. I've still Legion drabbed the base. Gravel on the base. I've done a black paint around the trim. Now, so let me just run you through my wet palette. I have Retributive Armour, Ricard Flesh, Rhinoxide, Lothern Blue, White Scars White, and that one is Corax White. And this lovely colour here is Polished Blue. Now, Polished Blue is an old colour. That's what it looks like. It's a metallic-y blue. It's perfect for 1000 Sound Chaos Space Marines, or Chaos Warriors, anyone basically in armor or any description that worships Zench. That's brilliant color for it. Now some people say, oh, we can't get that color anymore. Or I know the easiest way to reproduce that color is lead belcher base color. Yeah. Then after that, you get like a blue wash. Just blue wash it down, thin it down maybe a little bit, just over top, and you'll get the same effect. The only colour I haven't put on the wet palette is lead belcher. I need to put that on there. So, but anyway, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start with some Corax White, and I'm going to start with the fleshy area on his arm. So we've walked down once over the spikes, every part of it. And what I'm going to do then, I'm actually going to do his robes on the inside. So all of these bits, yeah. Just come in and get all of this. I'm not going to do all of it now on camera. I'm just going to give you a quick look at what I'm doing. And I'll come back to you because there's, oh, and the horns I'm going to get as well. All the horns. So I'm going to come back to you. Some more horns there. And I'll come back when I've got that looking good. I'm done. So here we are. Looking good. Looking good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Ricard Flesh. And I'm going to paint the robes, not the robes, sorry, the cloak. Get all this in there. I'm not going to do the whole lot on camera, I'm going to do bits of it. Make sure to get underneath as well. It's all part of the cloak. What else I'm going to do? Obviously the collar needs doing as well. I'm going to do that on the inside of the cloak as well. I'm going to do that, come back to you, and we'll see what it looks like then. Right, so that boo-boo happened. I picked him up. As I picked him up, the gun come off. I forgot that's where I had to glue the gun on there. So I can't super glue it back now, because if I do, I have to leave it an hour or two to fully dry so I can paint it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish him, give this guy a little paint, this little gun, and then glue that back on. So hopefully at the end, it'll either be glued on or it'll be painted, and he'll be painted, and then I just have to glue it on. Anyway, so I got the paint handle and put him on the paint handle. I said, no, I'm not going to mess around anymore. So here's where we're at. This work half flesh is still a little bit wet here and there. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to get some white scars. Now what I'm showing you now is a technique that's outside of the normal, you know, you'd paint it and everything else, and you'd dry brush it and edge highlight and that sort of stuff. But I'm going to go with white scars now and do edge highlighting now, ready for the next stage. And white scars is a layer paint, so it will go and brighten, dull itself down. The first thing I want to do is that you want to edge highlight the top of this. I'm going to edge highlight all of the straight edges on the cloak and the robes. So all of this is going to get, when I say edge highlight it, it's probably going to have a couple of passes with the white scars, just to bring that layer up as bright as possible. Bring it so you can see. Yeah, just even these little bits on the bottom here, let's give them a nice, there's too much brightness on the camera to pick up individual the white that I'm adding, but that's why I'm just telling you what I'm doing, just in case it is a bit too bright with the white scar, with the two lighter colours. I'm going to follow those lines up as well, so all the creases in, yeah, I think it is because the camera's flickering with the amount of brightness that's going to it. Sorry guys. So all the little creases along these robes, I'm going to hit it with some white scars. All of these little ruffles going down, all the raised areas are going to be hit with it. At this stage, it doesn't need to look pretty. All I need to do is just keep adding to it, go around the model, come back, go around it again. Just keep, I want to get those raised points as bright as possible. I mean, that in itself, this little edge I've just done here, looks pretty nice with the rock hard flesh and then the white scars. It's a pain in the arse that it's just really bright on the camera at the moment. So I'm going to keep doing all the way along the cloak. I'm going to come along and pick out like this, the claw, the fingers, all the raised little bits there, and these muscle bits on the arm here. I'm just going to give it a little faint going over. Doesn't have to be fantastic. I'm going to go around, do the whole thing like I said. Even the arm bits I've just done, I'll come back and give them another once over. Just annoyed that the arm come off. Just keep going around, keep doing it. Ready for the next stage. So I'm going to go off camera and do some more of that. I'll come back to you when it's ready. Disaster. I'm trying to glue the arm back on because I'm going to go to the washing stage next, and it come out the paint handle. Try to catch it and the head come off, the arm come off. So like, you seriously joking me? I stupidly stuck to my fingers as well. Oh, my goodness me. A disaster. So I'm going to glue the arms back on. They're still wet. There's still wet paint on it. And let's glue the arms back on and his head back on. And then we'll see where we are then. Right, so we're back in business. Still not, the glue's not dry, I've just glued it on, it's held together, so, oh my goodness, I can't believe that. It's come off of my hand. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do, so I did this as well, the little bit on top of the backpack is like a cloth hanging off. I painted that with the white scars. The first colour I'm going to go for, that's not you, that's not you, must be you. I'm going to go with Goodman Flesh contrast paint. That's something like, what's going on here? This is for everyone that's new. All my regulars will know I've seen this a few weeks ago. So I'm going to take the Goodman Flesh, and it's going on the arm. Now, where I painted the white scar parts, the white scars white part, sorry, but the white scars white paint, where I painted that on, that's going to give me such a good, nice looking shade without actually having to do very much. See it go on, but you'll see it when it's done. It dries nice, and so contrast paint will give you highlights anyway for doing absolutely nothing. But putting the bits of white in there beforehand is going to give you even lighter parts. So there's that one. The next one I'm going to go for is Druky Violet. Yeah, it's a shade. It's not contrast, it's a shade. But again, because I did that on the front with the white scars on the front of his, yeah, it looks a mess at the moment. But you just have some faith and trust me. When we start chucking this on, it's really gonna just come together nicely. You can already see how it's looking. What I'm going to do now is just keep moving it away from pulling in the recesses. I do want it to do that, but I don't want it to pull too much in there. Very minimal effort. Somebody say, yeah, but you went around a few times with the white scars. Yeah, but it's not that, not actually, you know, there's very little for you to do with the white scars. Just all you're doing is raised areas and just the edging. It's not that much when you look at the whole cloak itself. Close that before I drop it. Now I'm going to go with, actually I'm going to do not the Space Marine, I'm going to do the Skeleton Horde first of all. This is going to be for all the horns. There's only a couple of there's two on his head. Again, I did the same thing with the white scars on the tip of it. So the tip of it's going to give me the best highlighting effect of doing absolutely very little. Some of you new people are going to be like, what? That's insane. That's a very easy sneaky trick to do. But that's what this is what these videos are about. You know, showing you easy sneaky ways of doing things, getting my models painted up, and giving you something to look at whilst you're painting your own models. I'm actually going to just wax some Skeleton Horde across the cloth at the back there, because I'm going to come back in afterwards and give the horns a little dry brush, so it's not but not the cloth, so the cloth will still have the darkness on it. The next thing for me to do, without knocking the camera, is actually just before I go to the next colour, see the horn? Okay, pulling all the bumps, so I'll come in there, just move that off, make sure it doesn't pull all that. I want it to pull, but not too much. Same with the Gilliman flesh, I don't want to pull too much. So the purple looks great. I don't think this light's giving much justice. Hopefully when it goes into, once it's going to be for editing stage and it goes to 1080 HP, hopefully it will just, sorry, just get tissue to wipe my brush, might give you the better view on it. Close up, try and knock it over. One of those days. Now we're going to go Talazar blue. This is going on the robes, the cloak, sorry. Just slap it on. You can see the bottom of the cloak there, how white it is. When I whack this on, it's really going to really pop it off. So all that edge highlighting with the white scars and the popping along just raised areas. It's really going to look absolutely fantastic now. Cloak at the top. Still using the shade brush. I should probably change to the smaller brush. I think I should actually. Change to the layer brush. Let's come in and get all these nice little areas. Again, just go over with the Talazar blue, just make sure it doesn't pull too much in the areas. Just make sure you get every little bit. You do want it to pull together in the little recesses, but you don't want it to pull like too much so it starts just flowing out everywhere. The beautiful thing about the robes at the front with the purple, I could come back over with white scars and dry brush it, just so that the top raised areas get it. I don't know if I will or not, but I can. What I'm going to do now is leave it to dry for a minute or two. I say a minute or two, probably about 10-15 minutes, because I've already just glued the arms and everything else back on. And then I will come back with the next colour. And then just drop this model. Oh my goodness, my contrast paint's still a little bit wet, as you can see. But now I'm going to come in with some polished blue. You'll see the effect of this. It's absolutely amazing. Here's a Chaos Space Marine, so it does have gold trim. There's not a lot of it because there's not a lot of power armor on show. I still want to get in with the polished blue as much as I can first of all. I'm going to do his backpack. Those you eagle eye will notice it's a Space Marine backpack. I've added some chaos bits to it to just convert it a little bit, to make it so I can actually use him. For some reason I don't have any Chaos Space Marine backpacks. You can't mail order them in, and I was hoping if I could buy a box of Raptors or Warp Talons that they would come with both Chaos Space Marine and the jump packs, much like the Space Marines jump packs come with their normal jump packs and the normal backpacks. But I forgot to order them when I was there last there. You know yourself, so you go into the model shop and you just everything goes out of your head. how amazing that metallic blue is. It's absolutely amazing. Let's get in, get all the little nooks and crannies. With the black undercoat as well, it really does pop it off even more. And he has a little shoulder pad this side, but there's not very much. There's not very much exposed. It's a bit amazing looking skull in the middle of it all. So try and get in as little nooks and crannies as much as possible. The rest of the backpack. This is the part I'm a bit more dubious about, where I just glued it together. Last thing you want is super glue on your brush. As the brush is gone then if you do that. Last but not least, this little helmet. I'm going to go off camera and just finish the helmet because I realised I was going to carry on filming and talking, and back in a minute, guys. Right, so here we are so far. Now I'm going to come in with some Retributor armour. I'm going to pick out all of these, on camera, all these gold trim. The gold bit on the back here, the symbol on the back here, the symbol on the back here. I'm going to pick out a few of these little trinkets he has hanging off of him, and this lovely skull on the back. You can't really see it at the moment, it's too dark, but I'm going to pick out all of those. There's also gold trim around here. See it come through now. I'm going to carry on with that off camera because there's a lot of fiddly parts, and I know myself I'll end up wandering away from the camera. Come back to you in a minute, guys. So here we are. Now I'm going to come in with some lead belcher. And we're going to get things like the exhaust vents on the space on these backpack. I need to dry brush his gun really. So some pipe work here. All that pipe work coming down here. Making sure there's no more metal pipes. Now it's onto Rhinox side. I honestly thought he had more than this. What he has on him is this little gun pouch in here. I thought he had more, but he doesn't. A couple of little leather straps here, which does not need much of a colour. I could have left it black if I wanted to. Purple looks amazing. I just hope it's reflecting on. Look at that's how it's pulled together. I need to clear that away from there. We'll just flick it out. I mean, these ones at the front here are not too bad. Just didn't want to put in that much. Move the excess over here. And that looks fantastic. Now, this model is finished. About ready standard. But now, we're going to take it to the next level. So what's on Lothern blue here. I don't think that blue contrast has dried fully yet. No, it hasn't. I'm going to give that a few more minutes to dry because see it's still a bit wet just there. And then I'm going to come in with some Lothern blue. Ready for the next stage. Right, so I've got some Lothern blue from the wet palette. I've really watered it down, so it's really wet. And what I'm going to do is just start applying it along the edge. You'll see, I'll put a little bit on here, you'll see how wet it is. Very, very wet. Now I don't want to cover the whole of the edging, but I don't want to do as much, I don't want to do bits and pieces here and there. Just random pieces, it doesn't have to be uniformed or unified or anything like that. Because it is really watered down, it virtually doesn't even look like it's there. Because it's a low paint as well, it will go on really, not really bright because it's watered down, but it'll go on brighter than the rest of the model, and then just fade away into the blue. So what we're going to have is loads of different shades of blue in the same area. That's all the problem with this model. It's falling apart, I mean everything. Part of the problem with that is the parts that are on him are not supposed to be there. So there's no like male and female for anything to plug into. It's just, see what I'm going to do here. I'll start here and I'm going to flick it away from him. Like this sort of way. A little bit more watered down Lothern blue. To give me that sort of mad blue effect behind him. Just run it along here. Some more of this. Knocking the camera, sorry guys. It's me forgetting that I'm filming and just getting all excited about having this nice model done. Right, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some white scars. Same thing again. I'm going to really water it down. This is the consistency that I have it on. Yeah, it's really like basically just coloured water. And what I'm going to do this, I'm going to come along and see, look at the claw. The end of that claw just looks amazing. What I'm going to do is I'll take the most pointless tip and I'll just whacking it on. Very, very simple technique. Keep whacking it on. working on this one. Again, the tops of these ones, just keep working it backwards and forwards. I think I might have got a bit too much on there, but it doesn't matter because it will dull down. The top of these horns. These horns on the back here. And you see I'm coming in onto the muscle by itself, but I'm not. I just want to give it a few little highlights here and there, just to really back over the spikes again. A bit more of the fingertips, but just at the edge of it now. So this is what effect that we have. Yeah, very, very easy, very simple. Come in here, just get a little bit on the not too much on the underneath, just a little bit. Come back and do a little bit more here. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm starting to do too much, I think. Now, the only other thing I could do is the gold on the back here. I could come in with some, like a burnished gold instead of retributive armor, or do retributive armor first and come with some burnished gold over the top. I don't even know if it's called burnished gold anymore, but like a brighter gold, and just not do the whole thing, but do bits and pieces of it. I could then do some phase and camo show to wash it down a little bit. You know, I don't think I need to do anything to it. I think it looks fantastic as it is. I actually might give it a, looking at it in my eyes, it looks great. But looking at it on camera, it looks a bit dull. So I'm going to bring some more retributive armor on. Just not pick out the whole thing, just pick out the bits a little dark. Same as this little thing on his shoulder. Right, I need to say that's done now because I'm going to be here adding more and more bits continuously until this gets too much. So guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Everyone just smash that like button. Let's get as many likes on this video as possible. If you're not subscribed to the channel, guys, just hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. It costs you nothing to subscribe, but it helps the channel in a massive, massive way. You turn your notifications on so you don't miss any future videos, whether it be painting, Let's Builds, Weekly Wednesdays, or terrain builds, or battle reports, or whatever comes on the channel. If you've learned anything, you know, like with that arm or with the blue and, you know, whatever, if you've learned something, again, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you have any comments about this particular model and any technique I used here, or any colour combination I used here, chuck on below, let me know. Until next time, thanks for watching. I'm going to bring you down and show you some pretty pictures. But until next time, take it easy, guys.